All right, y'all. So today we got to go over this video about a real estate agent over in Wyoming, Michigan that was pulled out of a home because the neighbors called in what they thought was a burglary in progress. Okay, this video has been going all over Facebook, and I've seen it a couple of times on YouTube. Didn't really click on it because I didn't know what was going on. I was like, whatever. But it's been going all over. It's been on Twitter. It's been on YouTube. It's been on Facebook. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So let's see what's going on. And apparently this happened a few months ago. So I'm not sure why it's gaining traction now. But I saw it. So let me react to it. Let me see what's happening. And I'll show the video to you guys as well, just in case you haven't seen it. And we'll come back. We'll discuss. I'll give you my perspective as a real estate agent and a now retired police officer. So let's get into it.
Ask them how many people are in there.
I think it's just my friend is a realtor. So we was here just to see that.
Alright, go ahead and keep coming.
Okay.
Yep. Go ahead and just turn around, put your hands behind your back for me. Interlace your fingers like you're praying.
Step back further. Step back further. Step back.
2157 to the unit Eltron. You have both targets in custody.
How many people are inside?
2 in custody.
No one is locked inside? What? Step back here. Neighbors are calling in that you guys are breaking into the place. I'm the realtor. Okay, very good. Alright, thank you.
Sounds like it's
Why don't you step back here? It was just broken into a couple days ago also. Oh. So that's why the neighbors are really watching it, because they thought maybe we'd be back. Okay. Who do you work with?
Keller Williams.
Keller Williams.
I have my pocket license, my pocket cards in my wallet.
Okay. Right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there like a key thing on the front door?
Only a realtor can open it.
Okay.
And it's open now.
Okay. Do you have a key with it?
Yeah, if you go inside that license underneath the back of
Right
it,
here?
yeah, if you pull that out, by law we have to carry that.
Okay.
That's my license.
Okay.
My real estate license.
Where's the key at?
The key is in the door.
Your key to open it? Is
So
it
there's an electronic key box right there.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can see it open on the rail, on the left rail. Inside of that is where the key is, and that key opens the breezeway door.
Okay, so you know the code for the box then?
Yeah, it works only off of a realtor's cell phone, which is in my pocket.
Okay. Okay, let's go check that out in a minute, okay?
I don't know. So you know everything about why this happened?
He kind of explained a little bit since somebody
He was
broke in
obviously here
before.
in a black
last
Mercedes.
week
Similar.
with that. Neighbors calling, looking over the house, going,
Right.
hey, there's same car's back, on what it is. So we were trying to get a hold of the homeowner because he knew the homeowner from the prior calls. So, I do apologize. Obviously, thank you for just going along with it. And
I would have never thought you guys were
it's
here
obviously
for us. I was like, oh, something's going on next door.
obviously a good neighborhood. They're watching out for each other, but
When I seen the gun, I'm like, no.
All right, well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right, y'all. So y'all saw that, you heard that, you saw the whole incident play out. And I'm just gonna start out with this. All right, this is not a video to put blame on any certain any individual. It's not to put the blame on the realtor or his clients. Not to put the blame on the police department at all. From what I saw, it seemed like everybody, from what I can tell, it went off. It went as well as it's going to get. Okay, the real estate agent and his clients cooperated. The police department, the police officers, they all were professional. I have no complaints whatsoever. I hear people saying that, oh my God, this is a race thing, this is this and that, yada, yada, yada. Look, not going to get into all that because we all know that there are crappy people out there who will call police on someone because of their skin color, okay? You're also going to have people who are going to call the police because they're just that nosy neighbor and they're going to call in every single incident because of whatever reason, okay? So I'm not going to sit up here and sit there and play the race game and say, oh my God, it's because he's black. Okay, because I can pull up several articles of white people getting pulled out of houses at gunpoint by police. All right. I can tell you from personal experience, I pulled out black people, white people, Hispanics, Asian. I pulled out all kinds of people outside of houses in vehicles. All right. It had nothing to do with race. It had to do with the details of the call. And that's all we go off of. Okay. You have 99% of cops who do their job. And race has plays no factor whatsoever, in how you do your job. Okay, so that's not what this video is about. I do want to go over, all that had, transpired in here, and what you can do as a real estate agent if you do catch yourself in this type of situation, or what you can do to kind of like minimize your chances of being put into this situation. All right. Now, just in case you guys didn't catch the backstory of this, now this house was previously broken into, and it was squatted. So squatting is when somebody breaks into a house and basically just utilize the house as if it was their own. They'll just camp out in there. They'll use the restrooms, tear stuff up. A lot of times it's drug addicts, so there'd be drugs inside the house, smelling like meth. It's just nasty. All right, it's gross. So you have neighbors who will call, and they'll call because they see these individuals coming out. Either they know the house is vacant, either nobody lives there, or the homeowner is out on vacation or something, right? But somehow the cops get called, and they come to find out there's people in there squatting and utilizing that house, all right, which is a crime, right? It's a felony. You're burglarizing someone's house. You're breaking in there to commit some type of, grand or petty larceny, right? And so with this incident right here, someone broke in before, and they called the police. They got the person out. The neighbor said, hey, keep an eye on my house just in case something happens again. All right, so the previous person that broke in, it was a black individual, and they drove a black vehicle. I think it was a black Mercedes or something like that. So here comes our realtor, right? Our buddy from Keller Williams. And he, I don't know if it was his car or his client's car, but someone was driving a black vehicle again. So now you have your neighbor who sees this car. They see people roll up. And now this is all where perception comes in, right? So you have 3 black individuals, right? Dressed in casual, all right? No one looks like they're, business casual or anything like that. They're all just like I just came off the court from a game of 21. All right, just broke up some ankles and stuff like that, right? So crossing people over. Just casuals out of nowhere. All right, so it's all about perception. So if you see this, if a neighbor sees this, they just had that incident 2 weeks ago when somebody broke in. All right, is it reasonable to believe that someone would think that somebody else is breaking in? Yeah, I mean, look, yes and no, okay? But you don't know who this person is. You don't know what type of individual you're dealing with. But is it reasonable? Look, I will say yes, it's reasonable. Should the person have called the cops right away? Look, me personally, no. All right, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait and see whether or not you're bringing out items, right? If you're carrying out a TV, running out with a TV, bags of goods, got the pillowcase, running out with silverware and all that, just like our typical movie. All right, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna look for other indicators. I'm not gonna just call because I see somebody walk inside of a house and they're standing there. That's a little bit much. Okay, so whoever this person was that called, clearly just over the top, right? But I come to find when I was a police officer, you realize that witnesses always jump the gun. All right, they're always above and beyond. They do the most. Okay, they give the worst descriptions. They call out everything, and they're just a bit much. Okay, so it definitely happens. Okay. All right, so with this right here, so they get there. And the police, they do their job, right? They get a call about a burglary, and a cop is just going to do their thing. All right, they're going to go there, they're going to surround the building, they're going to call out to the house, they're going to bring everybody out, they're going to sweep the side of the house, make sure nobody's tied up upstairs, first and foremost. Look for any indicators that the house has been burglarized, right? Broken windows, the doorway, kicked in or something like that, windows broken, whatever. They're going to look for the indicators. Then they're going to conduct their investigation, which they did, right? The guy says, hey, look, I'm a realtor. Here's my ID. Just showing the house. I'm with Keller Williams. They were like, oh, man. And you can tell almost like 2 minutes in, everybody kind of got the idea that, okay, this is not what we thought it was. And even though that they kind of got that in the beginning, they still have to go through that training and, the procedure. All right, they can't just skip stuff because they think something, what they know it to be, an accident. They can't just say, oh, it's an accident, just forget about that, because, they'll say that. And that one time, right, you'll have somebody who is in there at gunpoint and they just let everybody go, and someone's tied up inside and it's actually a home invasion or something like that. So they have to go through those steps just so that in that one instance that, it's not, an accident and you just leave a victim inside there. So they have to go through the steps, right? And so you have people who are like, oh yeah, they didn't have to do that. This is clearly racially motivated. Again, I can see how, you can come off thinking that, it's not irrational to believe that. But I'm going to let you know that there are a few things that you as a realtor can do to try to minimize this from happening to you. All right. So when I go out and show houses, one thing I like to do, I go out, I look at the house, I stand in front of the house. I look on the outside, look at the exterior. I scan the area. All right. I mean, that's one thing you just do. You scan and you try to look and see how the area is. You look for neighbors. You're trying to see if there's people outside. You wave to people or whatever. You do all these things, okay? Because one, you want to know how this type of neighborhood is. You're doing your research, right? You want to make sure that this neighborhood is fitting for your client anyways. All right, I'm assuming they gave you their criteria, what they're looking for in the neighborhood and the house. So you're going to get to know the neighbors anyways. All right, so once you do that, make sure that you dress somewhat casual, okay? If you're going to have your name badge on, cool. That's why I wear my name badge all the time for the most part. I dress casual 99% of the time. And not because of that, I'd like to conduct myself as a professional. I feel better. I feel like I'm actually running my business as a business, and I don't know, that's just me. All right. And again, it's always perception, because if people see you in business casual, they're going to wonder like, hey, what are you doing? They might come up to you, talk to you, and engage in conversations, which is I want anyways, because I am a real estate agent and you're more than likely a homeowner and we want to talk, right? So you do that as well. All right. So you make sure you have all your stuff. You have your listing sheets. All right. You have your folder, your iPad in there. You're walking around. All right. You meet your client. You guys are talking out in front of it, in the driveway or something like that, in front of the house. And what this does is it lets people know that, okay, they're clearly conducting some type of business, right? They're not being shady, not suspicious. All right. So you let everybody else, your presence be known by the entire neighborhood. Okay. Yeah, if you're someone who's peeking through windows, being like, oh my God, like looking around shifty, okay, that's cause for concern, and someone's going to end up calling or keeping an eye on you. Now, after that, you come back out, you can walk around the neighborhood a little bit, whatever you got to do. All right. The less you seem suspect, okay, or suspicious with stuff like that, then the less likely you're going to run into these incidents, because we never know what happened in these neighborhoods. We don't know what the crime is like. We don't know whose house has been broken into, what type of people they've been dealing with. Maybe they've had people that's coming inside the neighborhood and trying to, break into cars, break into houses, try to steal things. You don't know. We don't know any of this. So it's not unrational for people to be on edge and be over there just looking out for their neighbors. It's not. I'm just letting you know, it's not. So you can say, oh, it's based on race. If it's a white person, they wouldn't have called. You don't know that. Again, like I said earlier, I could pull up multiple articles of white people being pulled out of houses by the police or being arrested because a neighbor called. You can do it, but the news is not going to show you that. All right. And we all know the news, the media is crappy. Okay. They're going to cherry pick articles. They're going to cherry pick based off what their narrative is. And they're only going to show you what they want to show you. All right. And we all know that. So that's nothing new, but we have to understand this, and we have to make sure that we see past that and not get enraged and then start to blame and play this whole race thing, because the division is horrible, especially in this climate right now with all this is going on. We all need to be coming together and making sure that we're all looking out for each other. All right. Again, I think that this incident went quite well, other than it even happening in the first place. That was an unfortunate part. But the way that it was handled by the realtor, his clients, and the police, I think it went very well, because you do have cops who just suck at de-escalating, and this could have went just completely wrong. These guys were professional, and I don't see any problems with it. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. you know, if you did like it, if you do like this type of setup and these type of videos, let me know. Like the video, comment on my video, follow my page, because I do several more of these whenever I do come across these types of stories, especially when it's real estate related. All right, so I'll catch you all later. If you have any questions, I'll leave my contact information below. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.